Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hatter Show, obviously episode 143. There's a few new things you can see here. Well, I say a few, there's literally one, which you can barely see it, but it says T Boys TV up there now with a former Luton player back in the day. Mum and that got me that for Christmas, so it's pretty sick. We got a little bit of T Boys TV display, like I say, you can slightly see it there. But yeah, obviously Sheffield United reaction. We're not going to do player ratings because obviously if you did watch a vlog from home, do make sure you do check that out as well if you haven't. Obviously there was a bit where we couldn't see the Sheffield United goals. So yeah, obviously I've seen them on replays and that, but you know, it's a bit difficult because you can't see the build-up play leading up to it, sort of thing. It was a good 20 minutes we missed. So we're not going to do player ratings, but obviously we'll go into our overall reaction on the game and that sort of thing. And then obviously tomorrow we'll be back again with a preview to Chelsea. Should have 2 Chelsea fans on, if not, definitely 1. So yeah, do make sure you do check that out, and that'll be the same time, 6 p.m. as well. So yeah, but like always, I'm joined with my dad. How are we, Dad?
Yeah, all good, mate. All recovered for Christmas, yeah.
Yep, no, absolutely. Good to hear. Good to see you back, obviously, on the Hatter Show back again. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, let's get into it. So obviously, we took on Sheffield United. You know, obviously, we've done a preview 2 days beforehand because obviously it's Christmas. Like we said on the vlog from home, obviously, I hope everyone had a good one. And you know, going into it, we both predicted a win by 1 goal. Obviously, I said 1-0, similar to last year, or exact same, shall I say, when we played them away. You said 2-1, and you know, it was a 1-goal win. Obviously, a 3-2, so we was both close in that sense. But obviously, the lineup for us was Kaminsky in goal, as expected. Bell, Osho, Mendy as the back 3, expected. You know what I went with. Giles on the left, Doughty on the right. That was interesting. I don't see anything come out about Kabore. I thought Rob Edwards would maybe talk about it in his post-match. As far as I can remember, I did watch it, you know, a couple of hours after the game, but I can't remember him saying anything about it. As hopefully that's nothing too serious because the last couple of games, obviously, he's been good. Barkley, Lukonga, again, expected. And it does look like Nakamba's got an injury. He put something in his story of him in crutches. So obviously that's not good to see. You know, it'd have been good for him to at least be, you know, on the bench for the Chelsea game, but I don't think that's going to be happening, unfortunately. Because for me, you know, even if he was available, he can't really drop Lukonga because how well he's done the last couple of games, and Barkley's just been absolutely phenomenal, as we all know. So it's a bit of a blow that. But yeah, obviously Brown, Townsend, and Elijah up front. As for the bench was quite interesting because there was 2 goalkeepers. Krul, James Shea, Anderson, Berry, Chong, Morris, Ruddock, Chio, and Woodrow. So yeah, that was the bench. Again, good bench when it comes to, you know, the attacking options. Obviously, you've got Chio, you've got Morris, and that sort of thing. No Clark, which I originally, you know, when I was, you know, flickering through the bench, sometimes don't proper look at it. No, I thought he was on there, but looking back at it, he wasn't. So again, hopefully that's nothing, you know, too serious, especially if us having 2 keepers on the bench, you know. Does make you worry a little bit in that sense. But overall, you know, it was the expected lineup that I went with, other than obviously, you know, Kabore in instead of Giles, technically. But yeah, what did you make of that lineup and bench, Dad?
Yeah, pretty much expected. Was a bit weird having 2 keepers on the bench. Like, I don't know why that was really. Clark, maybe he's got a knock or whatever. Kabore, I think he did have a knock. We weren't quite fit, so we've gone with that before, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then moving on to the first half, going into the game. You know, Sheffield United had a few, you know, half chances at the start. You know, Hamer provided a few opportunities. Obviously, we knew going into the game he's a player we got to watch out for. You know, you just look at what he done in the playoff final, for example. But yeah, like I said, they had a few half chances, and then the main talking point, you know, the first one is the goal that we got, Doughty. Now, we did have a corner, and one of the Sheffield United fans was going, "Oh, corner here, where to Doughty." Doughty actually, I saw it earlier, literally about half an hour before we went live. He actually responded to the guy and said, you know, he said something. You know, and obviously we didn't quite score from that corner, but then Doughty obviously provided a bit of magic. And to be fair, even before the goal, you know, I remember when we were watching it, Dad, I was saying on that right hand side, he's looking very dangerous today. You know, getting on the balls, especially, you know, the passes from either Lokonga or Ross Barkley, getting out to them and, you know, providing them crosses into the box, you know, causing that threat of, you know, trying to take men on. And obviously he did that, put it past Hamer, and then obviously put it through the keeper's legs. And obviously that's his first Premier League goal. And, you know, very happy for him to obviously get that. He's deserved it. You know, last season he was up there for player of the season, you know, in our opinion. And again, he's up there again for me. You know, I said it on the vlog from home, you know, he's been playing on the left and the right of the wing back. And you've got to remember, he's actually a midfielder, you know, and for him to be as consistent as he has, wherever it is on the left or the right, has been absolutely phenomenal. But wicked goal, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, he's really stepping up. And, you know, I've gave him man of the match a few times. Excellent cutting inside, not past Hamer. Yeah, the corner. I've seen the clip. It's quite funny. And you know, it's an opportunist. I don't know if it's a strike or a shot or not. Do you know what I mean? But I was thinking, you know, he just went for it, and the keeper really should have saved it, to be honest. But I'm glad he scored his first goal. I don't rate their keeper too highly anyway. And I think that if it had got past him, I think Elijah was on hand to tap it in anyway as well. So, but yeah, props to Doughty. I'm glad he scored his first goal, and hopefully he'll score some more. Hopefully he'll score one like he did against QPR as well.
Oh yeah, no, that was absolutely brilliant. Obviously, my reaction to that was absolutely phenomenal. You know, just like the game and the finish. Obviously, that did get voted goal of the season as well from our end of things. And then obviously they had another chance, Sheffield United, after the goal. Like I say, there weren't big chances. You know, they were just, you know, for me, they were half chances, you know, us doing loose marking sort of thing, which led to a lot of these chances. Obviously, Hamer had a corner in, headed over. I was about to say away because he's a defender, but headed over by Trusty. You know, again, it wasn't the best of headers, but it's just that loose marking, you know, which we did get caught out with, you know, at times in this game. And then obviously, you know, there was sort of the main talking points of the first half. You know, there was the Townsend shot as well that I thought originally took a touch from their keeper, but it didn't quite take one from there. But what did you make of the half overall, Dad, the first half?
Yeah, decent. I mean, at times we looked like the better team. You know, we obviously like adjusting to not having Lockyer as well. Although other players are stepping up, particularly Menji, in that you know, clearance, you know, re-up ratio. You know, Lockyer's normally is good at that, and he's sort of doing that job. And again, I think it's a fourth game in a row, if you count Bournemouth, that we've been 1-0 up at half time. So things are looking good for us at the moment. You know, we've got the confidence. We did look the better team at times. Yeah, I was impressed with us. And you know, you've got to go and attack these teams as well, which we did do. Yeah, they were coming back into it, but the managers, it will probably change it around, but I don't know if they've got enough in them to stay up. But yeah, I'm pleased with that first half performance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I say, to go 1-0 up again, we was very delighted with that. And yeah, I felt we started it very well. You know, the first half, I felt the way we were applying that pressure on them at times as well was really good. You know, and I felt we needed to sort of continue it. Similar to Newcastle in that sense, where, you know, I remember we've done so well in the first half in that game. I was saying, you know, we need to sort of keep that going. I know it's, you know, a bit difficult for 90 minutes, you know, non-stop in a way, but just getting on the ball and making them things happen, you know, looking out wide for them passes and, you know, causing them threats on the wingers, especially the wing backs we had in this game. You know, Giles, I thought he played really well, especially defensively. You know, I'll be honest, when the lineup come out, I was a bit sceptical of him in that role, only because, you know, Rob Edwards has said he's literally come in to be more attacking. and we're going away to a relegation rival. It was a bit, I was a bit nervy away from home. If it's at home, I'd have been more confident going into it. But he played really well. I felt in this game, defended really well, done them, tackles, provided some decent crosses. I think there was one that was maybe, like, what's going on? But it's always like that with him or Kabore at the moment this season. But overall, I thought he played really well, to be honest, in this game. But yeah, that was that on that. Let's go through some comments before we go into the second half thoughts. Big up to Stephen, says big up Ty, big up yourself, mate. He also says big up to you as well, Dad.
Big up.
Big up to Geordie, Whaler lads, big up yourself. What is going on at Newcastle? We thought, well, I thought anyway, you guys would bounce back, especially being at home. Forest still adapting under Nuno. I don't know what happened there. We watched it, didn't we, Dad? And we was like, what is going on here? Obviously, that didn't help us either, but is what it is, I guess. Apparently, Kabore's got a slight injury. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. Obviously, Rob Edwards will have his pre-match thoughts and all that tomorrow, so we'll find out tomorrow as well. Big up to Chris, big up everyone. Hope we're all well. Yep, good. Thanks, mate. Hope you're well. Big up to Terry. Apparently, Clark was ill. So again, hopefully, he's back for Chelsea, because he could be massive, to be honest. To come on, in my opinion, in a game like that. Speaking of Chelsea, we've got Chelsea fan in the chat. Hello, mate. Big up. Excited to play against you guys in Kenny. Big up from Indian Chelsea fan. Big up to yourself, mate. Big up yourself for tuning in. I think this might be the first time I've seen you on here, mate. So big up to yourself. And we'll be doing a preview tomorrow to the Chelsea game. Like I say, we should have 2 Chelsea fans on. If not, we'll have 1 at least. So do make sure you tune into that if you can. But yeah, going into the second half. Now, obviously the first talking point, I guess, again, it was a bit difficult because, we didn't manage to watch a lot of it. But I'm going to go to the goal that they got. McBurney, of course, that guy scored against us again. It was, I felt sorry for Lokonga, to be honest. And both of the goals we conceded in this game, I felt sorry for him because he done a vital block. In the second one, on the second goal, we'll get into that. But on this one, he tried, blocking it. We should have cleared it. One of the centre backs has got to be getting to that for me. And then obviously it was, McBurney had a bit of space and put it in. But yeah, it was a bit of an annoying one to give away for me, and I felt sorry for Lokonga, to be honest. When it comes to that goal. But what did you make of the goal, Dad?
Well, I didn't really see it too much like that. I watched it highlights and that. I think Bell was chasing back. This is the problem. He's played all right, but he's not a natural centre back. Like I say it all the time, we won't get away with it all the time and things like that. McAtee's a brilliant player, just like his brother is, who we've got. Scored 2 goals, I think, for Barnsley the other day. But he was probably fouled. They would have looked at that possibly as a penalty anyway. But he was still on the floor and just flicked it for McBurney running in. Our players were late to react, and bang, Kaminsky got a kind of hip on it, but it was, they caught us there, which is, and they switched things up in the second half, so our wingers weren't so effective as well, I believe. But we will concede goals, unfortunately, at the moment, because we are missing a proper centre back there for me, Bells. And then I think Doughty was back there as well, instead of I don't know. It was just a bit weird, caught us, So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you are right. Yeah, McAtee. I just had a quick look. He did get 2 the other day for Barnsley. They won 3-2 away at Port Vale. So he's on fire there at the moment. But yeah, obviously that happened. And then obviously, like I say, they scored again shortly after, and it's very annoying, us not being able to see it. We was especially, seeing how the goals were, seeing our reactions to the goals as well, in a way of, seeing what went wrong, sort of thing. But obviously they got a goal. I thought Lokonga again was unlucky, like I said. We need to be clearing that though. For me, we need to be clearing that. It's very scrappy in the box, it's just. you know, at times it has been like that. You know, you look at obviously I know it didn't count in the end, but the Bournemouth game, you know, the goal we conceded in that, you know, they were putting pressure on us. We, you know, they had two corners, you know, before that third one, which they obviously got the goal from, and you know, it's all from us just not getting it out. You know, and I remember a lot of games we've watched, Dad, even games we've come out on top of, you know, like Palace. You know, it's been a bit nervy. You know, it's been like just get it out, just get it away. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, anywhere, sort of thing. And it was sort of, I felt it was sort of one of them here. Like I say, Lukonga was unlucky, but just need to be clearing it. Do you know what I mean? We need to be clearing it. And yeah, again, it was a frustrating one. But what did you make of what you saw of that one, Dad?
Well, the geezer who crossed it in had like so much space out there.
That's another thing as well. Yeah,
Him. Bell possibly would have been, but he's like, no, I'm centre back kind of thing. So he wasn't. And then by then Doughty of all people come rushing in, and tried to like clear it. I think he was a bit like in them sort of. Sometimes you've got to be a bit more calmer with certain teams. You know what I mean? Like maybe. And then it just went to one of their players, and again, we were poised on the spot with the zone of marking and whatever. And we did have chances to get away. It was a great initial block by Lukonga. Mendy was on the line, but between both of them, they kind of one of them needs to get their foot on it quicker and just whack it away. And then Osho couldn't prevent the block, so yeah, it's proper scrappy and annoying. Like because we haven't. A lot of goals we have conceded are like that pinball round in the box and that, but we're better than that. Do you know what I mean? And it was a bit frustrating. So yeah, but I still think you know we could get back into the game. We had to get back into the game anyway. That's it.
Yeah.
Because if that had ended up the final score, they'd scored, we'd have been extremely disappointed with that. I tell you. But we shown that fighting spirit, you know, and it wasn't, you know, they worked hard. You see, when teams are down a button, they're doing that, but attacking wise, they were fighting for everything when they could, like that. Defensive, they panicked. So, but we were similar. That's what he's saying. You know, when teams are like fighting in these 6-point games, can happen. So I'm sure we'll be back to a normal defensive, you know, regularities when we play them Chelsea, and then we'll probably do the same sort of thing against Burnley.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you say, it's to fight back, you know, which we love to see, and obviously we have seen that a lot of times this season. You know, Forest to get the point. You know, there's been a few games, but you know, the Forest won that one. Pretty sure there was one more that we come back from behind or something, but you know, we have done it. We have done it. And we saw that. Obviously, Morris, you know, when he come on, thought the subs were very impactful in this game, especially Chio and Morris. They were the standout ones for me in this game. And obviously, Morris, you know, done really well. And I did say it with him. You know, hopefully for him being on the bench, it's like a Elijah situation at Brown where, you know, he realizes he's going to be on the bench regularly, and then he just plays well to try and get back in the team and start. Because you've seen that happen with Brown. You know, he started a lot of games, then he weren't great, and then he, you know, come back in. He started a lot of games. Elijah's obviously a top scorer, so for me, you can't really drop him at the moment. But again, he was similar. You know, he had a bit of a shaky start, but then he, you know, got into it, kicked it off with the goal against Forest, I believe, wasn't it? And then from there on in, he's scored every now and then. Obviously, Arsenal, Man City, and you know, two others, Burnley and Forest. So yeah, they're obviously all games he scored in. So from there on in, it kicked him on. You know, even though the Burnley game was before, but you know, obviously we lost that. It weren't down to him, obviously, but just defensively, you know, it was a bit of a disappointing loss, and it was one where the players would have been gutted with. But yeah, like I say, Morris very impactful in this game. There was an absolute bizarre moment, and you could see the inexperience in the Premier League from this referee, where Morris got his shirt pulled either side.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And they said free kick to Sheffield United. I couldn't believe it. I looked at you and I was fuming, weren't I?
Absolutely weird. Like, if you look at that in normal time, whatever, in slow motion, you can see the shirt tugging. You can see, like, I don't understand there was nothing what he was doing that there was a foul. Do you know what I mean? Like for him to give it's just ridiculous decision. Like there should have been what was the linesman seeing as well? It was just later. Oh, it's ridiculous. Just before that, one of the player or after that, after Matey Boy scored an own goal, he was wrestling. He wrestled Chio to the ground as well. And
yeah,
they're gonna combust, mate. I tell you, trust me.
doing these WWE moves. What's going on? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
It's like,
but it was a handful. See, when they come on, like this is the best substitute appearance I think I've probably seen from him this season. Obviously, he hasn't been subbed that much, but it's definitely the best. And getting to the goal,
especially compared to like the Arsenal game, for example, where he kept giving the ball away. I definitely agree. But yeah, getting into the goal, obviously the first goal to make it 2-2. It was a great ball into the box. It was a wicked cross by Morris. He has provided that. He has provided that at times. For us, whether he's been starting or not. He's put some great crosses into the box. And this was another great one. Originally, I thought it'd come off Osho. Obviously, on the vlog, I was like, "Was that Osho?" But obviously, it was an own goal. But Morris, he made Sheffield. I see people 2 own goals by Sheffield. Yeah, but he put that pressure on him to do that. With his crosses on both of the goals. So. We capitalised on it and we fought back. We done what we done in the first half, which was go at them and, have the ball, make things happen, play it out wide and that sort of thing. That's why we won the game. It's as simple as that. And obviously, it's a great ball by Morris. And obviously, it took a touch off their player's head. And obviously, it stood as an own goal, but we'll take it. We had that belief. You could see it in the players to go on and win it now. But yeah, what did you make of the second goal there?
Yeah, it was a brilliant cross. I think Morris's technical ability actually, when he can get on the ball, and this is what I said, he wasn't getting on the ball before, was he? When he's playing certain, he's not effective like that. He's more effective up front doing them kind of things, And it's a brilliant cross. It was going to Osho or Barkley anyway. Yeah. If Matey Boy didn't get his head on it, I think Barkley would have got there because he was like inches next to it anyway. So he caused the problems. He caused the goals. It's not like an own goal where they've tried to clear it and they've smashed it into the box. Do you know what I mean? It's not lucky in that respect. We forced the issue, so we deserved that. And then that just spurred us on. And yeah, it's quite ironic because obviously we discussed, if you look at the vlog, you can see that at half time, we moved 1-0 up. I had 3 bets, so I thought I'd do a couple. I've done 2-2 and I've done 3-2 as well. I should have cashed out on the 2-2 when I had the opportunity, so I could have got a bit more money, but we moved. And then, it was 50-1. So I ended up winning that. I did have the benefit of checking. As you kept seeing me checking, so I was like,
I didn't really want to
look, not get anything from it. So, but we deserved it. It caused a problem. He was causing havoc when he come on, and that's what we want. Elijah played well when he was on the pitch, but Morris was hungry. He wants to be starting. It's fighting between them. Whoever comes off the bench, if they're playing like that. But if Morris was coming on and doing that, I'd keep him on the bench at the moment. But still, we'll see.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see what happens because
I think it depends who we play. Because if we're playing kind of defensively, then there's no point. It doesn't seem to work that as much. But we're in form now, so it makes a little bit of difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, that's the thing. That is the thing. It's going to be interesting for sure. But yeah, moving on to obviously the goal that won the game. Obviously, again, it was another own goal, but Morris, brilliant again. To get it past their player, and then obviously stopped a little bit. Then he turned the player again, and then obviously crossed it in, come off their player, own goal. Absolute limbs, absolute limbs for us, absolute limbs for the away fans. And, obviously that was, the Sheffield United away end is obviously behind that goal where we scored. So obviously absolute limbs. I love Morris, celebration. That was quality. And yeah, again, we put them under that pressure to do their mistakes, and you have to give a massive shout out to Morris, for that again. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. But Dad, the winner, what did you think of that one?
Back. This is what I like about him. When he's in them areas again, in the penalty box, in and around, getting the crosses in and things like that. He's good at that. Put the geezer on his arse, crossed it in. I think Brown was probably going to get to that if their defender didn't get in the way. And that's what I'm saying. We caused panic for them, and that's sometimes own goals come from that. Cause panic, but I do think Townsend was close to it as well. If it weren't going to him, it was going to Brown because he was dead in the centre. Might not have scored it, but he would have got a shot on target. I reckon at least, definitely. Happens, there's been plenty of other games in the Premier League where there's teams have scored own goals and that this season as well. So, and we've due a bit of luck. Let's be honest. Sheffield United have had a lot of decisions go for them. And
you look at the Wolves game.
Itself out. It does. It's the law of averages, yin yang, whatever you want to call it. And we were due a little bit. There's a couple of stuff that we haven't had this season. Morris particularly got fouled a few times. No penalty. Not even looking at that. Got fouled there blatantly in that game. Got racially abused as well.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. That's what happens. And we deserved it. And backs to the wall a little bit after that, but not. We've been under much more pressure than that, and this time we didn't concede. So
yeah. No, absolutely, and this pretty much sums up my thoughts on the game. Luton were better in first half, but me, better team won. Who cares? 2 of them were own goals. You need to put them dangerous crosses in to cause them problems, says Chris. Exactly that, mate, and that's what we did. That's what we did. Chris also feels we're unlucky at both our goals. I'd say it's a bit difficult one for us because obviously we only see it from a highlight aspect. But I hear that on the second one, a lot. So I'd say it's like on the line for a bit, wasn't it? And it was one of them. But the first one, I was a bit frustrated with that one, to be honest. Especially like you say with the cross as well. How much space they got out was a bit annoying. But we fought back, and we got the vital win. It could come down to that win. You never know. Because they are a team that are, like I say, going to be in and around us. We all know that in this relegation battle. So it could be massive. Obviously, we'll do ours tomorrow. Like I say, we'll be doing a preview to that. So, yeah, obviously there's that. 2-1 Luton, though, you're going to go. That'd be very nice. And I feel it is a good time to play Chelsea without getting into it too much. I do feel it is. I know they won yesterday, but Palace, away from home are not great. So yeah. So much for my 1-0. Yeah, literally same here. That's what I was thinking. Shout out to Lewis as well. Obviously, he said 0-0. It'll be one of them games. So, yeah. Chio needs to start versus Chelsea. Potentially, I think he's doing all right as an impact player at the moment, though. But I hear it. To cause that threat. Especially Chelsea, I do feel they are very vulnerable defensively. I watched the game yesterday and, I know Thiago Silva didn't start and I do still rate him highly, but it is a bit worrying when your best defender is 39. I thought he's 38. Commentator said he's 39. It's a bit worrying. And he had a little moment, didn't he, where he slipped, if any of you watched the game, and it went out to Elise, I believe, and he just should have shot, or Eze as one or two. But yeah. And even then, I thought, it was a pretty even game, if I'm being honest. Eze, it was a stupid penalty to give away, though, let's be honest. But there we go. The shirt tugging was like something from WWE. Yeah, literally. Luton need a centre-back, says Paul. It's an interesting one because, obviously, it depends how long these injuries occur. Obviously, the Lockyer's situation as well. It's an interesting one. But if we do still have a few players out, then I'd have to agree, to be honest. But then it's difficult because there's that speculation about Lokonga, wasn't there? And then based on his recent performances, you want to try and at least keep him on.
Amber being injured.
And then we're even forgetting, to be honest, because he ain't really getting the run out. I don't know if he's injured though at the moment. Campbell. We are forgetting about him as well in a way. Will he come back? I don't know.
Well, Elliot Thorpe's coming back, but he'll go straight back out on loan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw that yesterday. Yeah.
Centre back, we've still got Burke to come back.
I love Burke. The only problem with him is he's so injury prone. That's the only problem.
Anderson.
Yeah. Who done very well again, by the way. Shout out to him.
We've got Potts who can play in that position as well. What Bell's playing in. As long as we've got Menji and Osho fit, and we've still got the options of them. Potentially, we could say that, but I'd rather.
It's interesting.
They actually do sign anyone, take a gamble on a striker. But we're starting to score. So
as long as when it comes to the attacking wise, which I'm sure we will, I think it's getting a bit obvious that we will now, is extend Townsend's thing mainly.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. You can see it, when he's playing for the club as well. His passion. Obviously, a lot of players, the passion the other day was phenomenal, but it's brilliant to see him and Osho's as quality, absolute quality. Even Morris is lovely. Doughty again with a shush. I love that as well. So, yeah. Big up to Jackie. She says, hi, Ty Daz. Morris is great. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Like we say, it's definitely his best impactful game that he's had when he's come on.
Do we need a striker? We keep saying it, but, we're scoring enough goals at the moment. You can score as long as your defence is right. Maybe we'd get someone in the centre back, but it'd have to be someone with a Premier League experience for me. That's it. They've got to be better than what we've got, or at least as good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd agree. 100%.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Kaminsky's save as well against the Hamer's free kick, which was quality. Again, we know that Kaminsky's capable of doing that. He gets his wall organised properly.
He does it.
He anticipates these things as well. Whereas, Ethan, would Ethan have saved that? Possibly. But
the wall wouldn't have been as organised.
No. So, yeah.
That's for sure. Colton was on fire too. Great balls into the box. Yeah, he absolutely was, mate. Absolutely. I just really like the cutting on the second goal. That was quality, man, looking back at that. Chris says this is interesting. The teams Luton can drag back into relegation zone are Brentford and Palace for me. Brentford goals drying up without Tony and need to replace him potentially, and Palace have no goal scorer. No, I'd absolutely agree with Palace. I controversially to a lot of people said they would go down at the start of the season, which a lot of people didn't like. But they probably won't, but they are going to be in that battle for me. And Brentford, I don't know, in my opinion, if they'll go down that far. But I do definitely agree they will need to replace Tony. I do see him going, whether that's in January or the summer for sure. And it most likely will be to Arsenal. I think that probably makes sense, doesn't it? Because I've said it with Arsenal, for them to win the league, they need, that goal scorer is going to get 20 plus goals. And if he can do that for Brentford, then he's definitely going to do it for Arsenal with better players. But maybe. I mean, they're not looking great at the moment, Brentford. But I don't know. I just think certain players they have will keep them away from it. But Palace, I do see them being in there. Like I say, I look at games like yesterday and they're trying to do too much. And they're not great. Like if they keep Roy as well, no disrespect. Fair play to him, still managing at this age. But I feel it's risky. I remember when they first got him. There are rumours. I think going to an away game last season with Luton. I can't remember who it was. Might have been Sunderland. And that's when they were first appointed. A lot of of our fans are saying it's a bit of a dinosaur like manager. Why are they going with him, sort of thing? So it's interesting. But I do think Palace, yeah. Obviously they've got Eze, they've got Ayew. Sorry, not Ayew. I don't rate him that much. Eze and Elise, sorry. But yeah, maybe Brentford, maybe. they could be that one, but I don't know. I think their squad's still good enough, to be honest. But they do need to replace Tony for sure.
What people are forgetting is that some of their players, and a lot for other teams as well, are going to the AFCON. So they're without them for what is it, a month at least?
Yeah, depending on how far they go. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he's that playing role for them. They're not gonna have that. So, and we've just got Kabore, I think, as it stands. Essentially could be going.
Yeah, because Nakamba's out, it don't look great. So yeah, I think it's just Kabore.
If we do loan anyone, I can see it being a right back.
It makes sense.
Or sign anyone. Sorry. So yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Because that's the thing about the Premier League. And I said it before. When teams are in Europe, it does affect certain teams. Look at Brighton.
Look at Newcastle. Since they got knocked out.
It does. In the following season, it does affect some teams. There's always one that does all right. And then AFCON as well always affects teams. It's gonna. So
yeah, 100%.
We just need to keep doing, what we need to do, and not really worry about other teams, and then it'll take care of itself. The moment, next 2 games. I mean, I did, I done my 21 game prediction not long ago, and I said to you, I've got us out of relegation zone, mate, like by a bit. I said we're gonna, from what I could see, we were going 5 games unbeaten. So I had win against Newcastle, win against Sheffield United, win against Chelsea, draw against Burnley, and a draw against Bournemouth, which will probably be rearranged by then. So I had us on like 21 points, and tried to be realistic with the other teams, but you never know, But as long as we're in and around that by 21 games, I'm fine. If we're 1.2 points off of safety, I'm fine with that. As long as we've got a chance all the way, even to the last game of the season. Obviously, you want it before then, but you've got to be in for fighting chance, and that's why it's such a vital win for us. And again, we'll need that same sort of performance against Burnley.
Yeah.
Because they were the ones who were tipped to do the best out of everyone. I think they'll finish 10th. I think they'll finish easily clear of relegation and this, that, and the other.
I think I said 12
recently, but have they got that fire? Have they got that spirit, which they had last season to carry on and win the league and that, like they did against us? Narrow win, wasn't it? And then we own one after what happened at Kenilworth Road as well. We've evolved a hell of a lot since then. I don't think they have as much. So again, I think we've got a good job. But I'll put a draw. We'll see what happens. We could lose against Chelsea, beat Burnley. So we don't know. But as long as we're around it, that 21 game mark, and then going into March and that, we'll have some difficult games. We're going to have the big boys away: Liverpool, Man City. Who else we're going to have away there? Tottenham,
Arsenal.
So we've got to be picking up these points where we can. Chelsea have lost 4 games in a row or something away, similar to what happened Newcastle was on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We've got a good chance.
Getting into it too much, I feel it is like Newcastle in the sense of it's a good opportunity to go there, and I'll say go there, we're at home, but take points off them.
Yeah,
there's not a better time for me, and we need to get revenge after all these games over the years. The 3-1 in the FA Cup, we actually played all right in that at their ground. I felt we were just quite unlucky. One of their goals shouldn't have even stood. It had 2 balls on the pitch. That was Lampard's last game in charge, actually, ironically. Then we had the 3-2 in the FA Cup. If there was VAR, we would have, one of their goals would have been chalked out. I was there. Lukaku's goal was literally offside. So, maybe if we were in the Premier League a few seasons before, we would have been chalked out. And then obviously the 3-0, you can't really argue with that one too much. We were just still gelling to the league. So, we need to get revenge. And surely, they've scored 3 in all of them games. Surely they're not going to do it this time at Kenilworth Road.
Well, they've got Sterling and Palmer back. So they're a nice rest, mate. So they're probably their best players at the moment. So
I'd say in Cuckoo, since he's come in, because he's been injured, he's looked good the last 2 games, I'll be honest.
Yeah,
so
ain't going to be easy.
No. At 12:30, sometimes, you have to try and get up for them games. Literally like fans wise and that, which I know they will, but it can be a bit sticky. But then again, we've had a lot of good 12:30 games over the years that I can think of. Obviously, the Bournemouth one, I believe that was a 12:30. I think Nottingham Forest and beaten 1-0 at home. So we have had a few. So hopefully it's another one of them. I believe the last 12:30 overall was that Tottenham game, if I'm correct, at home. So let's try and right the wrongs off there in that sense as well. Jackie says we did 30-1. There you go. And that. Obviously, we know Jackie's very good at predictions. Barkley and Lokonga run the midfield. Yep, couldn't agree more, mate. I feel Lokonga done really well in this game. Really well, and Barkley's just doing what he's been doing. Really sort of thing. So yeah, there we go with that. Is that your prediction for Chelsea? If that is, then that is a very nice prediction. We like that. Like I say, obviously, we'll be doing a preview tomorrow, same time. I thought Silva was 35. No, 39, mate. I thought he was 38. He's 39. This is interesting if this is true. Stephen says, like the rumour, we're signing Lokonga 8 million, which will mean that'll be our most expensive. And on loan, Smith Rowe. I'll tell you what, Smith Rowe on loan, I'll take that. Obviously, he hasn't really had a run out because he's been injured at Arsenal. But he's quality. What's that? Sorry, Dad?
So can he play right back?
No. I think he's more of a cat. I don't think I've ever seen him play on the wing. Or maybe a left wing, actually. But he's predominantly a cam.
Is he?
Yeah, predominantly.
Lokonga, 8 million. Don't know about that. Considering he said that he wants to try and get back into the Arsenal team. All of a sudden, it's like Arsenal, Luton. No, obviously our club, but the way he'll look at it. Because I can't see us paying 8 million for him. Only because, as well, he's 28, man. I don't know. Nah.
Well, we'll see how he does. He might just
8 million.
But like I say, the thing for me as well is, it's going to be difficult for him to get in that Arsenal midfield anyway.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Odegaard, he's balling this year. I'll be honest. He's literally doing, slam dunks as well. If you know, Liverpool game. And then obviously they've got Rice, who X amount of money. So obviously they're always going to play him unless he's injured. Which ironically, his injury record weren't bad until he went to Arsenal. Thomas Partey, they'll get rid of him. And then who else they play? Havertz, to be fair, he's actually doing all right at the moment. So it's all interesting, man. But we'll see. They need to give Townsend a contract, some other team. Nah, I think we're all good, mate. I think we're all good. A good thing about him, like I always mention, is that he's got that. He don't live far. He's local, so it's easy for him. And I just think from what we're seeing, not necessarily football-wise, just how togetherness. How much he's got the togetherness with the squad. I think he will stay, mate. I think he will. You look at things like. Obviously Lockyer's situation was, awful to see, but the way he's pulled up the shirt as soon as he scored against Newcastle, he knows what it's like to be a Luton player already for me. And you're seeing that, just with the passion and that sort of thing as well. So, yeah, there's that. Chris the event found out they can't keep a team get to 40 points. Then we get Beach House out there, always that team. Yeah, literally. Mid-table at the moment. Chris also said, just got the tickets for Wigan away tomorrow. Remember going there last year. 4,500 Carlisle fans, fair play. Expected that we are and we are bottom of the league, but still support us no matter what. Yeah, of course.
We got to do.
And that's something I like about Carlisle. You know, they always bring great following, you know, especially for League One, League Two. You know, so it's a big up to you guys. And we've said it, you know, you're similar to us in the sense of, you know, how loyal your fan base has been, you know, through thick and thin, really. So, yeah. Yeah, Chris actually said we'll finish 12th. I remember that. He said we'll finish 12th at the start of the season. You know, we'd have took that in a heartbeat. But yeah, Sheffield United bottom. Yeah, that was pretty easy for me, especially, you know, I said it in the Sheffield United preview with a lot of their fans, you know, going into the season, you know, they were worried because their better players went or their more experienced ones as well. Obviously, I've got a few decent players, you know, as we know, Hamer, obviously, you know, McAtee, but overall, I just don't think quite good enough. They'll do better under Wilder now, but I still, I'm on the same wavelength as you, Dan. I just don't think it'll be enough in the end. Chelsea can win one game, then lose the next. Luton v Chelsea could be an interesting scoreline. That's all I'm saying. It could be. You know, you've got to take into account, like I say, it's early kickoff as well. We have seen some weird scores over the years. I remember, actually, even though Chelsea were at home in this game, I don't think there was fans. Remember when they lost 5-2 to West Brom?
Thing is, we've played them recently a lot.
I'm not saying we're going to do that, but just weird scorelines.
We've played them recently a lot anyway.
Yeah.
You know, even in the cup and stuff like that, we've actually played all right. So that's going to add a little bit of incentive as well. You know, the fans, after the last time we played them at Kenilworth Road, we gave them a proper game. And we had loads of players out as well. Okay. Nathan Jones went with you know, second string almost in that game.
We had to put Eiston in goal at some point.
Yeah. So we definitely won't be showing no fear. We've got a good record against them at home. But obviously, you know, I expect us to perform well in that, but I'd take a draw if it happened. You know, if they switched it on and they were all over it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take a draw, but going into the Burnley game, but I feel like we have got a chance of winning this game, to be honest.
Yeah, no, of course. It's like I say, for me, it's similar to Newcastle, where it's a good opportunity to get 3 points or a point. Like I say, I wouldn't be too disheartened with a point. You know, you look at games this weekend as well. I mean, Forest, Man United, that could go either way because Man United got that, you know, it was a bit of a shock win against Villa in a way, even though Villa's record at Old Trafford's a bit crap. And then obviously Everton have got Wolves away, and it's a bit difficult not to back Wolves, in my opinion, given on how they've been. You know, beat Chelsea, which again, I got that right. And then obviously they beat Brentford 4-1 away yesterday. So it's interesting, but then again, Everton are better away from home. So, you know, I can't see Wolves losing that though. Might age well, but we'll see. Luton have been unlucky against big sides. Should have beaten Liverpool. Should have held on versus Arsenal. Unlucky v City. Had chances versus Spurs. You're due a win. Exactly. And we kept saying it. It's going to be a moment where we are going to beat one of these. I won't say top six because Chelsea and Man United are the only two we got left, and they're not top six at the moment. You know, if you're basing it on their performances and the league. But we said it. We are going to beat one of them. And no disrespect to them, but they are the two crappiest ones. So surely, out of the lot at the moment, so surely we're going to beat one of them. You know, surely, you know, one of them is going to experience that. Chris believes Smith Rowe is a perfect Luton signing. Suits it. Yeah, I'll take him on loan. It'll be interesting though because we have got a lot of cams. I mean, Berry will go. You know, I don't think it'll be January. It will be the summer because obviously he's extended for a season. So maybe replaces him for him, but I'd be happy with it. It's just what are we going to do with the other ones? Obviously, it's good to have options, but then we've got like 3 people that can play there, haven't we? We've got Clark, we've got Chong, we'd have him. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. Townsend will stay, yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, we haven't even touched on this, Dad. Everyone has said we wouldn't beat the record. Obviously, you know, the Lockyer situation, obviously, you know, is why we didn't touch on it during the Newcastle game. And then obviously, you know, we was already ahead on that point. So, yeah, Yeah, what happened with that, Dad? I thought
Well,
we
we knew.
relegated on Christmas.
We
You
knew.
know, I woke up on Christmas and I see Luton not relegated. So what's going on?
Yeah, well, I knew that wouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
No team's going to get less points than Derby, like for probably a long time. And then there's other teams there matching it up. There are Sunderland and we're already like going ahead of them teams. For me, I think when Watford were first in the Premier League, their first time in the Premier League, I think they got 24 points or something. So I'm just looking, as long as we can beat that, that's obviously they got relegated, I think. I'm pretty sure the way we're going, we're definitely going to get more than that. Sure, it is 24 points. Wikipedia are up, but the first season they went into the Premier League, they got relegated, they finished bottom. Yeah, so we need to be beating that so they can go on about it. But that's more than the Derby. We was always going to beat Derby's record. Come on, that team's been up still. It was a long time ago, you know.
And they were in the mud. You know, we wouldn't be in the mud going into this season because, you know, it's our first ever time in there. Obviously, we know we struggle at times, of course. You know, you've seen that, but you know that we'd be buzzing still, you know, and the players would want to play, and you are seeing that. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Burge, that was massive. That was absolutely massive. And their striker, yeah, I'd agree, because he actually got quite a lot of goals last season, didn't he, as well? Even though he was getting on a bit, Billy Sharp as well, I felt was quite massive for them going. Oh, he's gone to Hull on a free transfer. I see that the other day, so that was interesting. But he'll do well for them, I reckon. The problem with Hull, and I always say it to Lewis, is they always get these good players, don't they? Outfield players, you know, Lewis Potter, he's at Brentford. You know, they get good out and out players, but they're goalkeepers. They just, you know, like they give us Ingram on loan, and he weren't great. Do you know what I mean? And now they got Allslop. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, if you are backing someone, you would back Forest. It makes sense, you know, them being at home. Also getting that win against Newcastle. I don't know. United actually do all right against Forest, whether that's home or away. So I don't know, I'm on the fence with that one. But again, I'll do my predictions tomorrow. Get them out. So yeah, big up to Luca in the chat as well. Big up yourself, mate. Yeah, no, obviously we'll be doing videos up until then. So obviously we'll be saying it nearer the time. But yeah, no, absolutely, mate. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing, Stephen. Exactly. Literally. It's just a stupid comment. It's just yeah, exactly. Oh, Chris with the violations. Oh dear. But yeah, what we'll quickly do before we wrap up, like I say, won't do player ratings because obviously we didn't, you know, didn't manage to watch 20 minutes of the game, having some errors. But man of the match, what are we going with based on what we see? Who are you going for in this one, Dad?
I'm probably going to have to. I can't give one. I was going to say Doughty, obviously because of his goal and stuff, and a couple of the goals that he's involved, you know, a bit jumping in defensively and panicking and that. Yeah, fair play to him. He was back there. And I don't know. I'm going to give it to Lokonga, mate.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with as well. I'm going Lokonga.
A couple of games, he come on as a sub, done well. Played the full next game, done well. In this game, he was all over the place. You know, he was trying to get the ball away. I think he was involved in the first goal as well. Just looks really composed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, there was times where he was talking about, without Nakamba, like we're going to struggle in the midfield. We ain't. We're actually doing all right with him and Barkley, aren't we? So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Lokonga, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going Lokonga as well. You know, I felt he was very unlucky on the goals. You know, he done vital blocks, you know, in this game. And I say, if we just cleared it a bit better, you know, from the defenders, then, you know, it'd been even better. So I'm going with Lokonga in this one. Close second would be Doughty.
Close second, me, I don't know, you know, Morris, I think. When he come on, he just looks
and Morris, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And Chio again. lively. It's a threat. So yeah, we could make some changes depending, because they've got some weak. They've got well, not weak, but they've got Chilwell out.
That's massive.
Who's the other left?
Reece James out as well, isn't he?
Yeah, so we could attack them down and then flanks, I think. So it could be give Brown a little bit of a rest, put him on the bench, bring Chio on, start Chio, keep Townsend. Barkley against his former club, come on.
Yes.
Oh, mate. He's due a banger as well.
You know it.
Yeah, pretty much stick with that. I look forward to that game.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Again, we're on TNT, on TV. Do you know what I mean? Back to back, actually, in the Premier League. So that's going to be good. So 2 watch-alongs coming up. And then hopefully we can get Bolton tickets tomorrow, Dad. So hopefully I'll manage to get some for that as well. And then obviously there'll be a vlog. So yeah, we'll see what goes on. But let's go through the last load of comments. Yeah, it is a bit mad because it is a bit in a way. Because you usually go to the American League to basically retire. So
maybe Hull offered them more money.
Yeah, it's interesting with Hull because I actually think they've got a decent attack, to be honest.
And you could get them to the playoffs because they're in and around it.
Yeah. Never know. Like I say, the problem with Hull for me is just their goalkeeper situation. They just don't really get luck. I think the only one that's actually done all right at the moment, like recent times, and I've spoke to Lewis about this before, is Darlow. The one who's at Newcastle. He done well last year, but other than that, ain't been great. Like they got Allslop. Remember him at Wickham. I mean, average. But yeah, Terry's gone Barkley, man of the match. Yeah, that's fair enough. Put him up there again. But definitely, again, like I say, just Barkley. He was just Barkley, pretty much in the game.
One really tackle he made, won it off of them. It was effective. Yeah. Win the ball back, always the thing. But that's you expect that from him really as well now, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Stephen's gone Osho. Me personally, I thought he was decent. I've seen better games of him, but yeah, he was okay. He was okay, for sure. Did love his passion, like I say earlier. Loved that. Barkley nutmeg. Oh yeah. Good shout. Yeah, that was really good as well, wasn't it? No worries, mate. No worries at all. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's true. He was scapegoated at Chelsea heavily. So hopefully you'll humble them ones that were like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Stuff it, the full squad man and match. No, I hear it for the fight back. Liam Rossini, I really rate as a pundit and a coach. He'll become a success. Yeah, he has done well for Hull, to be fair. He's done a lot better than I thought he would. I believe he's a former player for them as well, if I'm correct. So also you've got that as well, that determination, that drive to do well there as well. But yeah, that is that. Upon everything, Dad, any final things you'd like to discuss?
Come on, let's go. Let's carry it on. Let's carry this little run going. Back-to-back wins in the Premier League for the first time since whatever. Even in the Championship, we kind of struggled at times to win 3 games in a row. Sometimes.
I remember it took us a while.
But then we did go on certain runs, and I think got to do it. I think other teams do it. You see it do it. It can fall back in. Fulham went on 1. Look at Bournemouth; they're on 1. So it all depends who you're playing against as well. It does give you that confidence. We're settled in now. We're definitely 100% settled in to the Premier League. There's no doubt about that. And we are looking better. Saying if we get to 21 games without getting a hiding, we've done well. Not me. Considering other teams, a lot of teams have got hiding, not just the teams at the bottom. Was it Aston Villa who got a hiding from Newcastle, and then
first game of the season,
So and considering, who's they ain't gonna get no points, no goals, nothing. I can't take them seriously. Fuck Luton. This, that, and the other. Yeah, pay attention. That's what I say. And it's good to see in all the stuff that we've worked for over the last 10 years, whatever, coming to fruition and still there and still, you know, and actually working in the Premier League, because every league I saw it was going up and going, right, we'll sit in here for a couple of leagues, we'll see what happens as a fan. And then, no, you know, we're just moving it forward and forward.
Yeah.
So far, it has been a good season, isn't it? Really, on balance, you know, we should have had maybe even more points. Maybe we should even be in mid-table. Let's be honest. But just keep it up. Don't get complacent. That's the main. As Sweet says, no Billy big bollocks. Just carry on doing what we're doing, man.
Yeah. The match preview for Luton Chelsea's literally just come out, but there's no injury news or anything, so we'll wait for that tomorrow. But it's just, you know, general stuff like we always go through, which again we'll go through that tomorrow. Last few comments. Stephen says in 1991, we had 3 wins on the bounce, and one of them was against Chelsea. So
the last one,
they are there. So maybe it is the time to get a win against Chelsea again. Not to say all the games I've seen against them recently, they've just been like, we played well, counter take away the 3-0, but again, like I say, we're still adapting, so it's one of them. But the others, we give them games. I remember that game pretty well, that 3-2 in the FA Cup. The first corner of the game scored. Cornick even got on the mark that game, and he's at the club now.
Cornick.
And that's when they were world club champions,
Berry was playing.
So I remember they had that on their thing, you know what I mean? And we give them a game. So, they're in a worse predicament. Surely we can give them a game again. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I do think if there is a time to get something against them, it is now. Especially if these previous games seek that revenge as well. The Ross Barkley thing as well. He's been getting close to scoring bangers. So hopefully it's the game. But, yeah. That is that upon that. But yeah, like I say, be back again with a hat show tomorrow. I'll say 2 Chelsea fans, if not definitely 1. So do make sure you tune into that. And then obviously I'll be back again with a watch along on I was about to say Tuesday, on Saturday. And then obviously we'll do a hat show, at some point over the next day or 2 after that to obviously get into the game. And then obviously Burnley, we take them on. So again, another one on TV, so another watch on, obviously a hat show building up to it as well. And yeah, that is all of that when it comes to that for now. And like I say, I would try and get Bolton tickets for the FA Cup so we can go to that, Dad, and then do a vlog. And it'd be good to be back there because the only time I've been there is Gillingham. Obviously, I'm not a season ticket holder, so it's a bit difficult. But yeah, that is that. So big up to everyone that's tuned in. We're currently on 16 likes, so big up to yourselves. Obviously, I know a lot of people watch this back on playback, so obviously smash a like there. As for subscribers, the Indian Chelsea fan who did comment earlier did subscribe to the channel. So big up to yourself, mate. Appreciate that. I'll say I'll be back again tomorrow previewing it against your team. So if you are still here, do make sure you obviously check that out. And yeah, that is that. Obviously, if you want to follow me across any of my socials, link to them are in the description. Obviously, do subscribe to the other channel. Again, we got another subscriber on the extra channel as well, so big up to yourself, whoever that was. And yeah, turn on the notification bell there. Final comments. Chris says, great stream as always, lads. Number 1 Luton channel. Yeah, big up yourself, Chris, for that. And Stephen saying we need the man Hanno. Well, Hanno is the one, I'll be honest, that we're, obviously he said he wants to come on and all that, but he's just going to confirm it. We're waiting for confirmation. So that's why I say 2 or 1. So yeah, he will be coming on, obviously, if he can, which I'm sure he can. Because I know you lot like Hanno. And yeah, big up to him. So yeah, until tomorrow, take care and peace up the time.